Attention, Burgundy and Gold family. Ready for the most explosive dose of news about your Commanders? Because what I'm bringing you today, believe me, will shake your soul. Something big is brewing in Ashburn, and I'm not talking about Thanksgiving. Dinner. Rumor has it that a rookie cornerback might be the missing piece, a true game changer no one saw coming. But that's not all. Because the defensive leadership is under the microscope, do we have the depth needed to dominate the league? Or are we about to see a restructuring that'll leave us speechless? Hold on tight, because our star receiver situation has the entire DMV on edge. Is he staying? Is he going? The fear of losing a pillar is real, but the truth, the exclusive truth, is here. Stay until the end, because this is what you need to know to understand Washington's future. Don't even blink. And if you're true believers, show it right now with a like and that subscription. Let's go, Commanders! Look, I'm telling you this, in the NFL world, there's always someone who shows up out of nowhere and blows up in your face. And I believe, hand on heart, that this year for our Commanders, that guy might be rookie cornerback Trey Amos. Yeah, the guy we took with the 60 overall pick from Ole Miss. People are talking, and it's not just chatter. Zachary Perrells from CBS Sports has already put him on his list of surprise players with immediate impact potential. Surprise? I tell you, it's no surprise for those of us who have been closely following every move in Ashburn.now. I ask you, remember Mike Sainristil last year? A gem we found in the second round, a player who quickly became a pillar of our secondary. The hope is that Amos can have a similar impact, the kind that changes the defense's dynamics from day one, elevating the entire unit's level. Perrells made it clear. Washington found a gem in last year's second-round cornerback, Mike Sainristil, and expects this year's version, Amos, to have a similar immediate impact. And I tell you, if this kid at 6 feet 1 inch with the ideal size to play outside proves his worth, that would allow Sainristil to move inside to the slot position, where his agility and instincts can be even more devastating. That's pure gold for Joe Witt Jr. because it gives us flexibility, options, and the ability to confuse rival quarterbacks with different coverage schemes. A rookie cornerback can go through a baptism by fire, facing the league's best receivers. From day one, absolutely, the NFL waits for no one. But if Amos holds up, if he shows what we saw in the combine with his speed and agility, if his technique is as polished as we hope, this is a huge improvement for a defense that, let's be honest, needs to improve a lot. Don't give me stories that defense doesn't matter. With Jaden Daniels and the offense doing their thing with the explosive potential we have on that side of the ball, the defense has to carry the weight, close the gains, and generate turnovers. And if Amos, along with Marshon Lattimore returning to his elite level after his arrival, and a versatile Sainristil can step up, I think we're talking about a team that not only aspires to the playoffs, but could dream of the NFC Championship or even beyond. While the Cowboys obsess over their offensive stars and the Eagles seek more weapons for Jalen Hurts, we're building from the ground up, from the trenches, from the defense. And that's where the difference is made. The Giants are still trying to figure out what to do with their offense, and we're here in Washington assembling a defensive unit that could be the envy of the league. Trey Amos reports today to the training camp with the rookies. The veterans arrive on Tuesday. The era of silent surprise has begun. And I tell you, stay tuned, because this guy is going to make some noise. Are you ready to see it? Family, let's talk about something that's been on my mind, something that's the heart of our defense, the linebackers. Look, since 2020, we haven't seen a base defense with 3 linebackers that really worked. Remember the Jack Dell, Rio era, and that classic trio attempt with Cole Holcomb, Kevin Pierre-Louis, and John Bostic? They weren't superstars, but the idea was that they worked. And then, what happened? Disaster. Jamin Davis, with all his raw talent and athletic potential, was thrown into the central linebacker fire from day one without proper preparation. And I'm telling you, That was a decision that cost us dearly in terms of development and defensive performance. Ron Rivera and Del Rio, with all respect, failed miserably in the position they themselves played. It's incomprehensible. But Adam Peters, that man is a genius, a visionary. He cleaned house in 2024 with bold decisions. He brought in 2 elite linebackers, 2 real playmakers, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. And not only that, he drafted Jordan McGee and signed a big safety like Jeremy Chin, who can play as the 3rd linebacker in a 4-2-5, adding credible versatility. Peters' wisdom was evident from day one. Wagner, a future Hall of Famer, still has gas in the tank and unmatched game intelligence. And Louvu, a guy I think was the best free agent signing last year, is a rising star, a whirlwind of energy and aggression. I'm telling you this, that duo, Wagner and Louvu, played almost every defensive snap in 2024. Both were honored as second-team All-Pro, showing their impact league-wide. And what does that mean? That rival offenses no longer tore us apart on the ground, unless Saquon Barkley was in the backfield. And even in that, our defense showed considerable improvement in containment. Both are effective blitzers, guys who go on the attack, who live in the opposing backfield. Yes, in obvious passes, Nickel Walker had to step in because coverage isn't Wagner or Louvu's greatest strength. But their strength, aggression, ability to stop the run and pressure the quarterback is what we need and what makes us formidable. Now I ask you, is there any reason to expect a drop in linebacker level this year? I think not. Louvu will keep climbing to the league's elite. His motor is tireless. Wagner, sure, at some point will slow down, age is a factor. But I tell you that it would be foolish to predict that moment to be this year. His experience and leadership are invaluable. When we signed him, many thought it would be a one-year rental, a mentor for the young ones while he completed his MBA at Howard. But the guy played so well we re-signed him with an MBA in hand and ready to keep dominating. And Louvu has a contract for a couple more years, securing our defense's backbone. But here's the key. What I think will change and give us a competitive edge, the depth behind them. Jordan McGee, with his athletic characteristics of a classic. Mobile linebacker, had a rookie year stalled by a knee injury. But now he's healthy, and I tell you, he'll at least allow Wagner to rest some snaps, keeping him fresh. If McGee develops as expected, if his instinct matches his physique, we'll see him play a bigger role as the season progresses, with the expectation that he'll take on Wagner's role in 2026. That's the long-term vision. And Adam Peters surprised many by taking Kane Medrano from UCLA in the 6th round of the 2025 draft. A very fast and active college linebacker with a non-stop motor. At minimum, he'll be an elite special team specialist. But I think Joe Witt Jr. will use him the same way he used Jeremy Chin last season, as a versatile weapon. Physically, he's a clone of our former safety, capable of playing near the line or in coverage. His playing style is similar, better going downhill, attacking the ball. Medrano showed good coverage skills in college, making him an ideal candidate to become a passing specialist, someone who can cover tight ends or backs. Both Medrano and McGee should see plenty of action in 2025, allowing them to mature and the veterans Wagner and Louvu to get some rest, keeping them fresh for the season's final stretch, while Jerry Jones in Dallas worries about his defensive line issues and the Eagles about their veterans' age. We're building a young, talented, and deep linebacker unit. The Giants are still searching for identity, and we already have it at the center of our defense. We also have Dominique Hampton, the 2024 pick, who will have a chance at that hybrid linebacker safety role, adding another layer of versatility, as well as several young players competing for practice squad spots. Nick Bellor, the special teams ace, is nominally a linebacker, but will only play in an emergency. We'd like to keep him, but I tell you, it would be even better if one or two of our young guys prove good enough on special teams to take his spot. Competition. is healthy, family, and it makes us stronger. Here's the news that has me, Marcus Rodriguez, on the edge of my seat, and I know it does for you too. Terry McLaurin situation. Our Terry. The heart, the soul of our offense. The captain, Scary Terry. Albert Breer recently said the Patriots would be very interested in a trade for McLaurin if it comes to that. Did you hear that right? The Patriots. And I tell you, this is not a game. This is the raw and sometimes cruel reality of the NFL. Terry has made it clear he prefers to stay in Washington. Of course he does. He's Commanders at heart. He's from the DMV and has been the only bright light in years of darkness for this franchise. But, and here comes the big but, he recently expressed his discontent with how contract extension talks have gone this offseason. Discontent. That's a word that should make our hair stand on end, an alarm signal we can't ignore. Breer, however, expects Washington to try closing a new deal with McLaurin next week. 1 week to define our offense's future, to secure one of our most important players. I'm telling you, the urgency is palpable. The pressure is on. Management.now, I ask you, what kind of compensation will we get if this goes south, if we reach a trade point? Breer pointed out that McLaurin is in the last year of his current contract and already in his 30s. He's 29, to be exact, but the NFL is cruel with age and longevity perception. This, I believe, would affect what teams would be willing to give for him, because they'd have to sign him to a new multi-million-dollar contract besides sending draft compensation. The Patriots, on their part, have been desperately trying to renew and improve their receiver corps in recent years. They've made some additions, but McLaurin would be a perfect fit for them and their rookie quarterback, Drake May, giving him an elite option in the passing game. A perfect fit. That phrase turns my stomach. The idea of seeing Terry in another uniform. Terry McLaurin was picked with the 76th overall pick in the 3rd round out of Ohio State in 2019. He signed a 4-year rookie contract. He was about to become an unrestricted free agent in 2023 when, thankfully, he signed a 3-year, $71 million extension. Now, he's entering the last year of that deal and set to earn a base salary of $15.5 million in 2025. In 2024, McLaurin played all 17 games with a stellar output of 82 receptions on 117 targets for 1,096 yards, an average of 13.4 yards per reception, and the impressive figure of 13 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns. That's elite-level production. A red zone threat you don't find on every corner of the league. I'm telling you this, losing Terry McLaurin would be a devastating blow. Not just for his on-field production, which is elite level and consistently has been the best on our team, but for what he represents for this franchise, for this community. He's an undisputed leader, a respected captain, an example of professionalism and dedication. How do you replace that? How do you substitute the work ethic and cultural impact Terry has had? While Jerry Jones in Dallas boasts of his $1 million contracts and the Eagles ensure their stars are happy and sign long-term, we're here in Washington with uncertainty hanging over our best receiver's head. The Giants are still looking for their number 1 receiver, and we might be about to lose ours, just as Jaden Daniels begins his career. I believe Adam Peters and the new regime know Terry's importance. I'm telling you, they have to do everything possible, move heaven and earth to close that contract. We can't afford to lose a player of his caliber, much less over a contractual disagreement that could have been avoided. The fans deserve to see Terry McLaurin retire as a Commander. The ball is in management's court. Are they going to secure our captain or let him go to a rival? Now I ask you, fans, what would you do if you were Adam Peters? Would you pay whatever it takes to keep Terry? Because I think you should. And there you have it, family. We've broken down the hottest news about your Washington Commanders. From the explosive potential of an unexpected rookie, through the solidity and depth of our linebacker unit, to the tension that has us all with our hearts in our hands over our captain Terry McLaurin's future. Now I ask you, do you think Trey Amos really has what it takes to be that immediate impact our secondary needs? Will he be the biggest surprise of the season? Leave me your predictions in the comments. And about our linebackers, with Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu leading, and the promise of Jordan McGee and Kane Medrano, are we seeing the league's most dominant defensive unit? Or do we still lack something to be invincible? I want to read your analyses, your rawest opinions. But the question that keeps me up at night, and I know it does for you too, what should management do with Terry McLaurin? Is it time to open the checkbook without hesitation, or is there a limit to what we should pay for our captain? Your voice matters, and I want to see what you think about our star receiver's future. This is more than a channel. It's our community, our Commanders family. Here we live and breathe burgundy and gold. If you feel that same passion, if you want to be part of this conversation, if you don't want to miss a single detail of our Commanders' journey, then click that subscribe button right now. Join the family. Like this video if you enjoyed the analysis and turn on the bell so you won't miss anything. Your support is what drives us. And remember, hail to the Redskins.